Number three was boots. I have wrote a little haiku to go along with it. Let me read to you what I wrote. Mud clings to old souls, whispers of trails left unseen. Where did you wander? It was a little bit hard to find a reference for the word exotic. I thought about it. Maybe it is about having a sea animal like a seahorse that is exotic. I don't know. It's exotic to me because I don't see it every day. I guess the word exotic is defined as something that is rare and something that you're not familiar. And when you see it, it's like very strange and sort of unknown to you in a familiar sort of way. Or at least that's how I define exotic. So seahorse is exotic as it comes. I'm not sure whether you remember there is a picture of a seahorse with plastics, and that sort of set the world in storm, and we all became, activists against plastics in our lives. Picture speaks more than 1,000 words. Certainly, it speaks to the heart, and oftentimes it actually creates actions on our part. I must be very honest. This theme for this day, exotic number four, was a little bit difficult because I'm trying to paint it with a single color, almost like using this purplish color to paint the entire sketch. So as you know, it's very difficult to make differentiation, especially if your tonality, in other words, your values are too close together. It becomes a blob of mid-tones or a blob of darks, if you like. So I'm being very careful with trying to apply dark purple and then light purple, and trying to leave as much white reflection on the body of the seahorse as possible. In fact, I made so many mistakes with this one. Like, if you look at the fin, it should be white with reflective light, but it's gone yellow because I accidentally put it across, when I put the background. Things like that happens in sketch. Don't fret. It is part of life. Mistakes is normal, so we get used to it. And it's a microcosm of life in many ways, the way we deal with our sketches and the way we deal with mistakes in our life. No problem, right? And so now, then, having made that sort of mistake, and I was aware of it when I'm sketching this, I intend to sort of differentiate the seahorse itself with the background. But I do not want to have sharp background, so I try to soften the edges with lots of water and trying to make sure there's no hard edges in the background, because it's a sea. So seahorse float in the middle of the water, and you don't really want to have too much of hard edges to take your attention away from the body or the sort of the animal itself, or the key star of the show, the seahorse. The many sort of mistakes that you do in sketch is all okay. That's not really a problem, right? Just have to learn how to deal with it, and life goes on, right? So as you can see, I've left some of the edges a little bit too long, so they have a sharp edge to it. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Just as I try to soften it, and I use my brush to kind of go in a bit harder, and you might destroy the paper if you use very cheap paper. That's what happens. But if you use good cotton paper, like in this case it is cotton, it should be quite alright. Take a bit of abuse, that's fine. And then I sprinkle a little bit of opaque, dripping it in just to drop and create a bit of texture. I go in with a bit of my pen to redefine some of the shapes and the edges of the small little shape, the body. Draw lines so that it is a little bit more visible as to the three-dimensional form of the body of the seahorse. Just remember, don't overdo the sort of inking, if you like. But in any case, it's a sketch, so you know you gotta go with gusto. If you have decided to go for lines, then go with it with confident. Confident lines is they are much more important than having accurate lines. Draw confidently, even if it's wrong. It is better than tentative correct lines. It shows because your audience will know that you have drawn it tentatively, and it will be it sort of tell the story of a unsure sketcher. So avoid that at all cost. So I've kind of, tried to separate the two shapes, shape of the seahorse against the background. Not very successful, I must admit. But the bright spot in the background, that runs right through in the middle, allows the seahorse to pop a little bit. It's not at the stage of where I want it to be. I could do a better job. But it is a sketch. It is drawing every day. It's trying to enjoy sketching and not get to stress out a little bit of a mistake. So it seems there's not such a thing as mistake. Um, it's a good thing. It's good for the soul that you can accept things like that. Now I'm dropping in a bit more opaque, a bit of opaque yellow, a bit of opaque orange, and then drop with my Mitsubishi Signal gel pen, white, yellow, silver, everything I can throw at it, I throw at it. That's about it. So that's it. This is a very quick sketch of an exotic seahorse. And I hope you do a bit of thinking on your own what exotic means as well. And you could also, put your sketched and linked me to it and tell me what you do. All right. Meanwhile, stay safe wherever you are. This is We Take Out for today.